Hey everyone, Kaylee here. So today I'm starting out my prom series with this really feminine side bun updo. My little sister Anna is modeling for me today, and I just thought it was really pretty, really feminine for those of you guys who wanted that look. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin by making a ponytail. First, make sure that your hair is parted to one side, and then separate the hair that's just above the ears all the way around. This here we're actually going to mess with and give a little bit of teasing to make sure it looks nice and full and pretty when we pull it back. So just go ahead and secure that out of the way. And then we're going to place the remaining hair into a ponytail. Now what this does, first of all, it gives us less hair to have to pin and work with, which is great. But it also provides an anchor for the bobby pins to hold into. That way your bobby pins aren't floating around in the hair, but they're actually secured to something. So make sure that that's nice and smooth and you don't have any little hairs flying around. And then secure it with a small elastic. Once you have that done, make sure that the hair is not pulled back too tightly. That would absolutely destroy this hairstyle because it would make this tight look. So make sure that you kind of have this little drooping effect that Anna's has. So not so loose that it's going to fall out, but not so tight that it looks glued down. Then go ahead and give it a tiny bit of spray because we're done with this area and you want to make sure there's no little flyaways. Now we're going to make a bump. Now this can be as big or as little as you want. Anna loves volume in her hair. So I took 3 little sections on top and just tease them back. And I'm using the Little Wonder teasing brush here. I recommend a teasing brush at least similar to this because it really is versatile. You can use it kind of on the corner like I am to really build in that tease. But you'll see me later, I'm going to use it on the flat side and just put a little bit of teasing in. So now what you want to do is to gently brush over the top of that bump just to smooth down any little hairs that might look a little silly. And then you want to go through the front and just give a little tiny bit of teasing. Now I'm going to do a little bit more right here, just to kind of graduate that bump because it's so big. So we're putting a little bit of teasing right here. And then I'm going to go into the front and basically just shape it the way that I want it to look. And then you don't have to tease this section if you don't want to, but what I do is I use the flat side of the brush and give it the tiniest little bit so that it nets those hairs together and then you don't end up with little hairs falling in your face throughout the night. On this other side, because it's so shallow, it needed some teasing as well so that it wouldn't look flat. Now this might seem like a lot, but this is how I bulk up the hair and I make it look a lot fuller than it is. And it is a really important step because if you skip it, the hairstyle can look just a little bit droopy in general, which is not cute. Now we're going to twist and pin that. Start on the side with the least amount of hair and kind of gather that, give it a little spray and smooth it with your hand to make sure that there's no flyaways. And then just twist it a couple times kind of toward the ceiling. And then you're actually going to pin it in place just about right there, right in the back center of the head. And I just pinned right into the twist and I did 2 bobby pins crisscrossing together to hold it in place. And now we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Make sure you like the shape that that's making in front. You want to make sure that it's covering the ears because nobody likes their ears sticking out. And then just twist it nicely. And if you have short hair, twist that on top of the one that we just twisted. If you have long hair like Anna's, kind of tuck it underneath the tail of the one that we just twisted. And then pin it in place. And again, spray to make sure that you don't end up with any little flyaways. And now we're going to make a braided bun. So take that hair that's in the ponytail and just braid it into a really loose braid. Especially if you have finer hair, you want to make sure this is as loose as you can go. And go ahead and give the hair a little bit of hairspray before because again, that's going to help you not have little flyaways sticking out everywhere. You don't want to like saturate it with hairspray, but just mist it a little bit. It helps a lot. And once you get to the end of this, you're just going to secure it with a little elastic to go ahead and hold it in place. Now, if you have really long hair like Anna's, you're going to want to get those ends of the twists out of the way so you can just put them on top of the head and clip them down. And then we're going to twist this braid into a bun. So basically do your first little twist and make sure that it's positioned right up against that front section of hair that we twisted back because that makes a really pretty shape and we'll also make sure that it's visible from the front. And then with Anna's hair I looped it into a bun and then actually pulled the end through the middle like a little half knot because she had a lot of hair. But if you have less hair, just twist it into a normal bun and pin it in place. Again, try to keep it as loose and big as you can. Now with the remaining hair you're going to pull it all to one side and give it a little tiny twist right there at the corner and then braid the rest. And again, you're going to braid this as loosely as possible. You want this to just drape a little bit. Now if you have shorter hair, you're basically just going to, if it's really short, just wrap it against the edge of the bun and kind of tuck the ends in and pin it in place. Or if it's just a little bit shorter and you might have 3 or 4 inches of braiding, then just do what I did and then secure what you can against the end of the bun and pin it into place. And that's it. Now it might seem a little tricky, but just go back to the basics. It's just a ponytail, a bump, and then a twist, a braided bun, and then you just align the ends around the bun however works with your hair length. And then you can add a little accessory if you want. So that's it, guys. Make sure to check out my previous video and then check back later this week for another prom tutorial. I'll see you then. Mwah! Bye!